guest speaker.
3 to 14.
And this is really amazing. So, you know what? Tell me, Jeri, do you feel comfortable? Do you want to sit in the chair and speak it, or do you want to speak?
I'll stand up in the back.
Okay, then I'm going to sit in the chair because I've got so much to say. It's going to be a lead-in for you. You can wait there. Let's wait. You're going to use the microphone. I won't use it. Here, so whenever it's your turn, yeah, you'll know. I'm going to go through it as quickly as I can. Pardon me?
Podium.
Okay. She's not gonna be at the podium?
Yeah, she wants to be at the podium, not yet. Okay. I hope you can get some of this sign here too. However, you do this, no guts, no glory. We want to make sure people understand what we're doing here. It's something I haven't seen. If I've seen it on YouTube, then I wouldn't, because President Trump needs all of our help. He doesn't control the government yet. The FBI, all of those agencies are filled with a bunch of communists yet. As Comey, they're so arrogant, arrogance beyond unbelievable. So, but I'm going after the crime against humanity, the COVID that they set up. Anyway, so tell me when you're ready.
Well, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, hello folks, here we are. We're El Paso, Texas Prayer Warriors, and we're very sincere about this. Last month you saw one of our beautiful members who talked about the significance of prayer, why we pray. So we're continuing that, but for today's meeting, we're looking at our health care, what happened to us with COVID, and we have a beautiful lady that has survived the Biden protocol of Remdesivir. But I'm going to give you some background to this right now, so bear with me while I read through so much of this stuff. It's unbelievable. Anyway, starting in 2021, okay, so the American public has begun to wake up to the fact that COVID-19 vaccines, once promoted as life-saving, are causing widespread and serious harm. Oh my goodness. So starting in 21, he was sworn in January of 2021, and his administration declared that COVID, oh my goodness, was the pandemic of the unvaccinated. If you weren't vaccinated, you were causing this pandemic. Okay, so what was COVID? I'm wondering how many Americans really understood that this was a coronavirus. And viruses, if you look them up, are really parasites that get into our body. And we probably all have lots of parasites. If you have animals or you go outside, do some gardening, you're going to pick up parasites, all right? In any case, this one hit our lungs. In particular, it could cause us bronchitis, pneumonia. And but it took them 6 months before they started identifying it a little bit, because Anthony Fauci, the director of the NIH, National Institute of Health, the Centers for Disease Control, oh my gosh, the FDA, all of them were in on this, imposing this dictatorial mandate across America to lock us in our homes. And actually, I forget her first name, Judy Burks, the gal that worked with Anthony Fauci, she wrote a book, probably going to publish it about 1.5 years ago, to exonerate herself that, oh golly, they made up everything, folks. The 6 feet apart, the masks, that you have to stay locked up in your houses. All that was made up. Go look at Burks' book. You can buy it at Amazon, whatever. But she, that was her mea culpa, her way of trying to protect herself from justice now that, of course, we've got President Trump coming in. They're gonna be held responsible for murdering, 500,000 Americans plus worldwide with their mandates, all right? So, anyway, proceeding right along as I'm moving through this, I wanna move it through. So, who actually did the mandating? The President of the United States can mandate for the executive branch. So, oh my goodness, that's why all of Congress was excluded. That's the legislative branch. The judiciary branch was excluded. And guess who Mr. Biden also excluded? Of course, that auto pen that we know. Who was running that auto pen? He wasn't. They excluded the United States postal workers. Whoever listens to this, go to your local post office and ask them, do you consider yourself more important than the American military? Because guess what? Biden required our great American military to take that jab, that untested, because we were all guinea pigs if we took it, okay? And he wanted them, all of the military, in any case, but not the postal workers. They were kind of instrumental helping him win the 2020, or still the 2020, because, you know, they helped disseminate all of these ballots, the ballots from China for the early voting, going all across mainly the heart of America, the states there. So, moving forward now, but that's who we're oh, please don't let me forget. Of course, the invasion. We were invaded by how many nations in the world? They came over, they poured in, what, 25 million? And oh my goodness, those people, so many of whom have TB, different strains of TB, that we have no resources to protect ourselves. But they came in. They were not given the shots. Imagine. But oh my gosh, you heard the Biden people and how many governors, mainly the states run by, unfortunately, Democrat governors. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, yeah, he did do what was unconstitutional, because, folks, there is no authority to mandate for our health in the United States Constitution. It's not there. So they were totally unconstitutional and lawless in what they did to the United States. In any case, Abbott did it for about a year, and the outcome of these mandates nationwide was the collapse of the great middle class, all right, which I'm a part of. Those of us that worked for a living and retired, maybe still working, but all the small businesses in America, 70% of a United States of America is small business. It's not the big corporations like Walmart or Costco or just think how many. They only represent maybe 30% of this nation. Of course, now with the collapse of all those small businesses, who knows? So they're gobbling up everything in the name of government. That's the outcome of this mess that they imposed upon us. Now, was there a reason for it? Well, you better think about it, because we've still got all, 20 million or whatever illegals that are here collecting working jobs that Americans should be doing, collecting probably a lot of welfare, because the reason they come, in the United States, we pay welfare, as well as in Europe. Germany pays probably the most welfare, or traditionally has done that. In any case, my information has come from several sources, but one of them is the New American magazine. That's John Birch Society, that has been in this fight for, 1949 was the conclusion of the wars, and when Mao Zedong moved into China. We've been battling this now, whether so many of our elected realized it or not. So, but the New Americans started up in the 50s, and that was John Welch, who founded the John Birch Society. So it's a tremendous organization with lots of information for us ordinary Americans. We also have Judicial Watch. So I brought both of those with me if anybody that's present while I'm doing this, filming this now, would like to look. But these are great sources. Tom Fitton, the president CEO of Judicial Watch, every month has gone after defending we the people from government. And that's, thank God, why we elected our great president. And don't believe that to listen to these alphabet news stations, which are all dying on television. We're not 50 50-50, folks. It's more like 90% probably is MAGA. Make America Great Again. Standing with our president for our jobs, for our families, against the insanity, the chaos that they've been trying to do, which of course, if you live in LA, that's my native town, if you live in Portland, Seattle, and New York, oh my gosh, you're seeing all these anarchists doing their best to promote anarchy for the nation, as they're doing insurrections and against our wonderful ICE people. So we're prayer warriors. We're here. We're battling what we need to help our American people understand this is a fight. It must engage all of us in prayer. That's what we're asking you to pray. Set up prayer organizations for your family, your neighborhood, your community, however you choose to do. And as our Mrs. Gilbert mentioned last month, Shield a Badge. You can set that up yourselves, folks. It's up to you, because we're not going to win this battle without it's the Lord, because it is a spiritual battle that we're dealing with. And so as I'm almost concluding here, so that we're going to introduce our guest speaker, I wanted to make sure I mentioned, so our healthcare system was totally taken out with Obamacare when he was, I'm sure, elected by the machines in 2008. Obama came in and he enacted right away. Well, of course, that's after they sold those 50 caliber rifles into Mexico. Okay, that was Obama that did that. And one of those rifles even showed up in Paris and did a horrible bloody scene there at a nightclub. Oh my goodness, but the Affordable Care Act is what Obama enacted, wiping out, oh my gosh, all the beautiful, a lot of companies provided health care for their employees. Oh my goodness, it went after everything to, as we understand, socialized medicine. One care fits everybody. That's the purpose of socialized medicine. It's one system for everyone, no matter whatever your individual needs and wants are. Okay, so that's going to be in the future that our great president is going after. Anyway, so I wanted to make sure I emphasize federal government has no constitutional authority for our health care. That's nonsense. The fear that they generated courtesy of the MSM, the mainstream media. Oh my gosh, they're still doing their job, huh? Of trying to make Americans get afraid of whatever. Folks, there's no fear when we walk with the Lord. We're a Judeo-Christian founded nation, and this is the month we're going to be celebrating Christopher Columbus. He came with the cross, so we're under the blood of Jesus, folks, and that's for the entire nation. Our nation will stay a republic in spite of this monstrous demonic assaults that we're experiencing, because where the Lord is, where the Spirit of the Lord is, and that's Jesus Christ, there is freedom. There's no freedom from any of the other religions. Of course, we respect Hinduism and Islam. Oh my gosh, nothing there for humanity. That's another topic that I'll be exploring in a couple of months. But right now, so I'm going after now, I want to introduce this Dr. Mary Bowden, and she has worked in Houston at the Houston Methodist Hospital. They relieved her of her duties there when right away in 2021, with so many of her patients dying, she understood what she was dealing with. This Biden protocol of giving Remdesivir, putting the ventilators over their mouths, which for sure killed them, okay? So it's ivermectin and it's hydroxychloroquine, which here, living in El Paso, we had access to because the different stores that sell food, feed for animals, they sell the ivermectin in tubes. And so many acquaintances that I have went and bought those tubes. On the package it says if you're going to take it for a human consumption, it explained how to do it. But also, we lived on the border here, so I have different friends that have families in Mexico, and they went and brought us ivermectin. But now the great state of Texas has, I believe it's legalized now, and it's going to be sold over the counter. It should be. I haven't checked that yet for sure, but I believe it is. It's going to be sold over the counter, ivermectin. In any case, this poor Dr. Bowden, what she didn't have to fight. She's joined Dr. Peter McCullough. Oh my goodness, we've had great American doctors, Dr. Harvey Rich, Dr. Robert Malone. They did a symposium in 2022. They met in, must have been in Washington, D.C., all these doctors, plus doctors from India and other parts of maybe South America that recognized that that the treatments were killing the people and not helping at all. So they came together, they ID'd it, but of course the Biden people, all that were running our country, no, they wanted people to die. Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, I mean, he said, well, yeah, it's going to help reduce the population, which we want, because they are working for sustainable, what they call sustainable growth. Part of the one world government that they're attempting under the World Economic Forum. So I'm throwing a lot of things out there. If you haven't heard of these terms, oh my gosh, turn off your television news, go onto the internet, start looking at Real America's Voice, that's R-A-V. Please look at Mike Lindell, that great warrior in the United States, standing up for that our votes will count again once we close down our electronic voting machines. EVMs is the terminology for those. Well, I think I've covered what I needed to say to do an intro for this beautiful lady that's going to follow me now. We've had nurses, so many that help to stand up, to help our nation not have fear, but stand with the Lord. Well, anyway, so please, I would like to welcome one of our members of the El Paso Texas Prayer Warriors. Her name is Jeri Fausnacht. Please, Jeri, come on up. Oops.
Can you hear me?
Use the microphone.
Can't I leave it there?
No, you gotta use the microphone.
That has to be near your mouth.
You want to stand? You want me to get you to stand? No, you don't have to hold it?
That's okay. Okay, my COVID story, you've heard before that.
In the speaker.
You've heard before that. Takes 4 days. It's not on.
I think the battery's low.
Just hold it.
Just a minute, persistent.
Is it working? Okay, we got one bar. Hello?
Talk fast.
Hello? Hello?
No.
No? No? Okay.
I'll talk loud.
Next month we'll charge the battery. I'll get the
Just try to speak as loud as you can, Jeri.
Okay, you've heard that it takes, when you get the COVID, the disease of it, or COVID, whatever, before the
Coronavirus.
Yeah, when you get the coronavirus, it takes about 4 days before you show symptoms. So I had gone out to eat with my two friends, and I said I haven't taken the jab. They said, oh, that's okay. We've taken all our shots and all the updates. So I went with them, and I think I got it from them. One of them, when she took the shot, she contracted Bell's palsy on the left side of her face and her eyes. She could not close her eyes, so she had to use eye drops all the time. And
You want to explain it, the mRNA that rubbed off onto you?
Okay, so
Then you read your notes.
my only symptoms were a headache and a neck ache, which showed up 4 days after our lunch date. I was taking Tylenol at night because that's when the symptoms occurred to me, or when I noticed it. I was working the early voting polls at Marty Roberts Park. It was protocol to take the temperature before you worked. I never had a temperature when I reported to work. Then Thursday, my symptoms showed up at lunchtime while I was at work. So I took some Tylenol. So Friday morning, when I woke up, I had a fever. So I called the presiding judge and she let me have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. Then I do not remember much after that. I remember taking all of my clothes out of the closet and putting them on my bed. Why? I don't know. So I was told after the fact, after I got home, after I got out of the hospital, I was told after the fact that my friends went to Marty Robbins on a Wednesday, which I hadn't showed up to work on Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday, and they just said that I didn't show up, so they went to my house, they went in the backyard to the sliding glass door. I have wrought iron on the doors. The sliding glass door was unlocked, so they opened it and were trying to talk to me, and the wrought iron was locked, so nobody could get in to rescue me. So they showed up, she called a bunch of other friends, and they showed up the next day, and they opened it, and they asked me something. One friend was telling me she brought me all this food to eat, and I didn't touch it. And then I remember her asking me for a glass of water, and she said that I went like this and didn't give her a glass of water. She said she had to come in and use the restroom, and I said yes, but I didn't do anything about it. So they decided to come back on Thursday. They came back Thursday night, and they called the emergency, and they came and broke the lock and went into the sliding glass door, but they exited through the front door. And I don't remember anything. I came to when they were getting ready to roll me out the door, and then I don't remember anything else. I remember when they closed the ambulance doors, and that's not a feeling you want to feel. You get kind of scared. So I was in ICU for 2 whole weeks, and I don't remember anything. I remember 2 times that I had visitors. And after the fact, I learned that the hospital gave me Remdesivir, and that took my kidney function down to 17%. So I was in ICU with a catheter, and I was on kidney dialysis for 2 weeks at the hospital. So I don't remember any of this. They tell me catheter is painful. Well, luckily I didn't experience that. So they sent me to a nursing home, and at the nursing home, I would take kidney dialysis. I'd have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to be on the bus at 4 o'clock. They roll the wheelchair out there, tie the wheelchair down, tie me down. And I was on kidney dialysis Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for about 4 hours. So when I get home, and COVID was still on at that time, when I got back to the nursing home, on my hospital table was a styrofoam takeout thing. My breakfast had been sitting there since they gave it at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I also found out they don't give you your medicine on the days you go to kidney dialysis. You're not in your bed, you don't get your medicine. So I was at the nursing home taking physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy. And they wouldn't let me walk to the restroom. I had to have a nurse take me, and it wasn't any fun. I remember the nursing home. And so the nursing home finally, I went to the nursing home November 15th. And on a Wednesday in December, they said, you're gonna be released. You're gonna be released on Thursday, December 9th. and then they asked, well, do you wanna stay till Friday? And I'm like, I don't think so. And I think that I was released because of the insurance wouldn't cover it anymore.
Yeah, but you were how many days there? How many days from this ordeal? It started in October.
I went to the nursing home November 15th. I don't know how many days it was.
Okay, but you became ill. Can you mention that first paragraph of your COVID story so that they understand how you contracted COVID?
I contracted COVID from the spike proteins that the booster shots put out, and
They
the
shed.
COVID shot too. So I got that from my friends, and I'm sure that's where I got it from. And I asked them, I told them that I hadn't taken any boosters or any shots, and they said, no, we've taken our shots, we'll be fine, because I had friends that wouldn't let me go do anything with them because I didn't take the shot. So I honored their wishes. And so, after a urine test, my kidneys went up 50%, and then I was taken off dialysis. And I was so excited, I cried. I had a lot of people praying for me. I told the nurse there, and I started crying. And I said, this is a miracle. And they said, it's a miracle for them because most of the people on kidney dialysis are on their way out. So it was a real miracle. And my church prayed me through it. And I'm so thankful that, then to top it off, the next year I got COVID. In the hospital again. But they didn't do anything to me, so I was fine.
They didn't give you Remdesivir.
They
No,
didn't give me Remdesivir. But the second time, everything was different. I don't remember being sick. Because my friends came and saved me again because I didn't answer my phone. And that's why they went to, the first time they went to where I was working, where is she? Because I didn't answer my phone. So the second time when I had COVID, I did not have symptoms like the first time, but it was like I went into a different person, like schizophrenia, but not. I went to somebody else. I was watching QVC and buying stuff. And then I didn't need to be doing that. That's not like me at all. So that's my miracle story of COVID and Remdesivir. So be careful with it. And my church lost 2 pastors because they were put on the ventilator.
So they put them on Remdesivir and then they ventilated them.
I don't know about the Remdesivir, but
Yeah,
they
most
died
likely.
because of that.
Yeah, they ventilated.
Mm.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Thank you so much.